Festival.
You can certainly see the winds are certainly brisk out there. They are really gusting. Looks like you see some foliage out there on the streets. So it looks like it's had a rough go of it, not really seeing anything other than maybe some light things across the street there, thankfully.
Absolutely right. And again, this is showing again the after effects of the storms that are moving on through, and again, these tornado warnings still in effect now across eastern North Carolina. We are this right here. Did you bring that spot in right there? Great job. Go ahead and take that, Patrick. These are two complex that are very impressive.
Yeah, this is again the tornado warning, and it looks like. Actually, that was the one. This is the one up here to the north with the low-level lock that they're pulling the trigger for the tornado warning. But again, there's another rotation that's coming up across Rich Square and Woodland. But a new tornado warning. That one is for the one that is coming across into Hertford County. And again, this is extreme northern Hertford County and extreme northeastern portions of Northampton County. And this is going to be into Virginia here in the next couple of minutes. This stays well north of Ahoskie, well north of Winton. This is Severn and pushing up towards the north, and this should be in Virginia here in the next couple of minutes, and kind of out of our hair. But needless to say, there is a good rotational couplet. Now, granted, we are looking a good bit away from the radar site. Let's switch over to the other one, to AKQ here, and see what we can get from that. And it may take a second to load up, but let's see here. But needless to say, it just tripped another TDS marker there north of Severn. So again, that very likely has another tornado being on the ground with that, and you can kind of see that embedded supercell shape there as it's pushing up towards the Virginia state border. So again, you need to be in a safe place now if you live up and through there. And it looks like the couplet's going to sit right here on the Hertford, and it looks like on the Hertford and Northampton County line, just to the east of Severn. And this is the extreme northern tip of Hertford County as it pulls up into Virginia. So we're talking about north of the Chowan River. We're going to be kind of north of the Chowan River here in the next couple of minutes, as that when the Chowan River comes across. When Highway 13 comes across the Chowan River, that's kind of that general area, but it also looks like we may have a second area of rotation developing with a straight line wind threat along with that pushing into Hertford County. So not only do you have the two tornadic circulations, you've got straight line winds that are pushing eastward. So Ahoskie, Winton, you're going to be affected by straight line winds here, and that can do just as much damage as a tornado. But the tornadic threat is going to be up to the north and east of you. Now, again, we do have another circulation that's developed near Rich Square. And back down to the Pitt County storm, we have the Pitt County storm. Well, actually, it's now the Martin County storm. We'll have to rebrand that. It's the Martin County storm now. That one looks like it is kind of falling apart, and but it does have a wall cloud still associated with it, so it does bear watching. And even from that far away over the radar site, you can still see some rotation there coming across Highway 125. Let's go ahead and go back to yeah, there we go. So again, this is going to be pulling up towards the north and east. Here's 125 here. Here's Williamston. It's right now it is a severe thunderstorm warning. But we have had reports of a wall cloud with that storm here in the last 5 to 10 minutes, as it's going to be pushing across into Bertie County here fairly soon. Right now, no low-level locks, no TDSs, so good news there. But we are, yeah, there is likely a lot of hail. Yeah, it looks like we've got those two cells that we were watching back over in Edgecombe County. Oak City along 125, you're about to get slammed with hail here in the next few minutes if you're not already. And north of Bethel along 64, likely seeing some hail as well as that pulls up into Martin County. So
we have video of hail in
Farmville.
Steve, do we have that we can pull up? It looks like well, my mic's dead.
If we could pull up the video from the hail from Farmville that you guys got pulled up here in the monitor above the Weather Center. Maybe we can get that here in just a second. But again, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that's been allowed to, the tornado warning's been allowed to expire, but now we're down to a severe thunderstorm warning for Martin County. But likely a large hail falling out of that storm as it's pulling up towards the north and east and will be affecting places into Bertie County here soon. Back up to the north, and this one is still cranking up here to the north into Hertford County, as well as, let me switch this over, switch the radar sites here to give you a better perspective. This one is an embedded supercell that is about to pull across into Hertford County. You need to be in a safe place right now. That is a TDS marker, a tornadic debris signature. And the way that that looks, I mean, that is an embedded supercell structure. So the last time we saw one like that, Wayne County had a tornado, back in February, late February. So very similar situation there as far as what that looks like. And that's going to be pulling up into Virginia. So that's the only tornado warning that we have on the board right now, is for extreme northeastern portions of Northampton County and northern portions of Hertford County, as that continues to pull up towards the north and east. We still have the tornado watch in effect until 9 p.m. The only county inside of our viewing area that is not within that is Carteret, for good reason, because you've got cooler temperatures down there. Today has just been one of those days where deep inland warmed up so efficiently. We had full sunshine this morning here across the east, and that destabilized the atmosphere so greatly. And on top of that, all the dynamics came into play. So now we're kind of getting into the point where we're trying to assess damage. But I will say this, we still got another round of storms to roll through here.
Good point.
A lot of flood watches.
Yeah, the flood warnings are coming down.
There is a lot of rainfall with these storms, a lot of lightning and a lot of wind.
And everyone, just to further confirm the fact that this is not over yet, as Patrick, Dante, and I are pointing out to you, this is yet another line of storms. The front has not pushed through yet. So, for example, more thunderstorms are forming now in southern sections of Wayne County, preparing to move into western Lenoir, also western Greene County. The storm, a severe storm, will be moving across Williamston into Windsor and will head toward Edenton. That's why now a severe thunderstorm warning for southern and central Chowan County. Maryhill, Windsor, this is moving toward your areas within the next 30 minutes between now and 6:45. One other thing I want to point out before we transition again to analyze another storm to keep you ahead of threatening dangerous storm situation. We're getting some questions now about those listening to us on radio. They're commuting, they're on the road, and asking a very good question. What do we do if we're on the road? Well, this is a very, very difficult situation. Driving, never a safe situation in a tornado situation ever. There is no safe place in a vehicle. What we recommend you do, if, for example, you're on Highway 64, if you're coming, say, from, say, Plymouth, if you're trying to go west on 64, just simply don't go there. Do not head west at this time on Highway 64 from the Plymouth, Washington County communities. Do not head west right now. Similarly, do not move east on Highway 64. Just a dangerous situation. If you can, get into a safe, sturdy foundation building or foundation home if you can. Now, granted, I realize if you are on the highway, it's very likely you're not in a place where you can do that. But what you never want to do is to drive into a storm or be in a situation where the precipitation is so heavy that you cannot see or detect any tornadic or rotation inside the storm. So the best advice we can give you is simply, if you are hearing us talk about a given area, like, for example, Williamston right now is in this very, very strong, a severe thunderstorm warning along the Roanoke River, anywhere along Highway 64 from, say, Oak City to about Jamesville. This is not a safe place at all in terms of traveling along Highway 64 or any of the highways or roads, state roads that are coming in through this portion, this corridor of Highway 64 in Martin County. So that is why we advise you to stay in your safe place. Do not get out. Do not travel. If you are thinking about heading across Martin County right now, do not do that as this storm moves on through as we move on by. Patrick?
Just seeing this from Garysburg in Northampton County, flash flooding. Water up to the car windows on the Jackson bypass near Garysburg. Several cars stranded in the floodwaters. Water reported rushing down the road. So
talking about danger.
Yeah, there's a lot of dangerous things going on here. And again, like you said, there is a severe thunderstorm warning now out for Bertie and Chowan County until 6:45 this evening. And looks like we may no, I take that back. I'm looking at the same report as far as the Hertford County storm. That one is definitely being watched because it is the only one on the board, but it is definitely very strong. It is an embedded supercell inside of that line of storms. And again, if we can zoom out real quick and show you, a lot of folks are asking, what, it's Friday night. I need to get out and
what do we do with our plans?
What do we do with our plans? My best guess to you and my best advice to you is to just hold off on this tonight. If you got plans later on tonight to go to the movies, maybe the late show, you'll be fine because these storms will be gone by 10, 11 o'clock tonight. So that's not an issue. It's just the near term. Hold it down for a little bit, and we're going to continue to watch. Now, you see some storms kind of firing up away from that main line that's moving through Rocky Mount, as well as that down into Wayne County.
Some new cells forming
We're seeing some new cells forming ahead of another line. So again, these storms that are firing up ahead of the main line, we said that there was going to be a couple rounds here, and Dontae went ahead and outlined that line. You see these cells that have fired up down here towards Goldsboro and Kinston. Just to the west of Kinston, down towards LaGrange, along 70, and also up into northern portions. This is going to be another area where we could see another round of storms firing up because the atmosphere is not completely done. It has been recharging this entire time. We got into the clear here across this area for a good little while. There was still some sunshine peeking through as well. So the question mark here is, do we get another round of storms, supercell-like thunderstorms, to fire up here in this area that is almost relatively untapped again because we kind of went away from seeing storms. Now we're seeing them fire up again. So that's going to be another line that we're going to be watching here over the next couple of minutes.
You and I were reading, the discussion from the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center, and they were talking about the meteorologists who cover these severe storms. That there are going to be multiple points in our unstable atmosphere where there is a chance for supercell development, and then also a chance for those supercells to tap into that shearing environment where they could fire off a tornado. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Sometimes what happens is the atmosphere gets worked over by the first round of storms, and so the second round of storms come through and they don't have much destabilization to work with, and so the second round is oftentimes weaker. What we're seeing with these is that the atmosphere once again is recharging itself, and this second round of storms, now it could be that this second round of storms maintains just a severe thunderstorm level as opposed to tornado level. That's bad enough, but it would still be weaker than a tornado and not tapping into the shearing environment that's in the atmosphere. However, what we are seeing is these storms are regenerating and becoming more powerful than they could have, and we're watching these storms redevelop as they enter eastern North Carolina, destabilizing atmosphere. So that's what we're watching right now. We're watching these storms. Lots of lightning that's being put down with these thunderstorms. So if you are outside, if you're thinking about going outside and taking pictures, you certainly have to be careful because you have the lightning element that's with these storms, and then also the possible debris. If there is a tornado or if there is a funnel that we haven't reported yet that's in your area, you certainly have to be careful when you're trying to go outside and take pictures or video of these things.
Let's go back up to the north, and again, we're going to work this tornado warning until it's out of the state. But that storm that is in northern Hertford County, now in northern Hertford County, very, very, very likely that has a tornado, and it is very impressive on the radar scope looking at it right now. Now, I'll tell you right now, the National Weather Service has gone ahead and started to clear out some of the watch, but it does not include any portion of our area. But as these storms, that main line pulls through here, yes, we'll start to clear out the watch, and at that point your severe weather threat is done for the day. But this storm right here is possessing that potential for tornadic development near Como, pushing up Highway 13 here. So you need to be in a safe place if you live in extreme northern portions of Hertford County. This is north of Ahoskie, this is north of Winton, but Dante's circled this basically right in through here where this is kind of curling back around. We may actually see, if you look at that, it may be that it's kind of wrapping around on the backside. You may have a bookend vortice trying to form there as well. And what that means, you see that little curly Q on the south side of that, that is actually kind of, this is the straight line wind threat down here. That's why we have the severe thunderstorm warning. But yes, the outflow from this thunderstorm may have hooked up with the outflow, the storm line that was pulling through Hertford County. This is why you have that severe thunderstorm warning right now, because damaging wind gusts are heading towards Ahoskie and Winton, but the tornadic threat's up to here to the north. But we may be seeing a little bit of a bookend vortice on the back edge of this, and basically what that means is that as the line of storms was coming through, it's starting to wrap around on the back edge of it in curly Q, and you can get rotation back there, but it's also intermingled with a supercell.
Patrick, that would certainly make sense too, with what the National Weather Service was advising us of what would happen with these line of storms, that we would see the Boeing segments and then possible those bookend vortices of the outflow boundaries of the line of thunderstorms tapping into moisture of other thunderstorms, and that's what we're seeing possibly with this line of storms moving through extreme northern parts of Hertford County. And
again, that's a tornado warned storm, and that's pretty much at the extreme northern viewing area. We're going to lose this warning here in just a second, and at that point we're going to just be down to severe thunderstorm warnings. But I do want to go down to the south, because there's some rotation developing in these storms that are moving into Bertie County. And again, those were the storms that brought us the tornado warning here in Pitt County about an hour ago. So let's zoom in here. Looking at the indications, there is that potential for maybe some rotation developing in there as well, and also back over north of Bethel along 13. Looking at the velocity product, we are starting to see a little bit of rotation. Now, it's up there in the atmosphere because we're looking very, very far away from the radar site, but you see one here, one here. So needless to say, there's still some rotation with these storms. Now, they're up into the atmosphere. Could they get down to the ground? Yes. Actually, let's switch over to the Raleigh radar site. And I mean, for Bertie and Martin County, it's kind of hard no matter where you look at it, because it is a little, you're going to scan 6,000 feet up into the atmosphere. So you're really looking at the mid levels of the storm. But again, right in through here, now pushing up into Bertie County. Again, there's your rotation one, there's your rotation number two. Severe thunderstorm warning, but could it go tornado warned? Yes, there's that potential. We are in that type of atmosphere today. This one's very broad, but this one's kind of tightening up back here on the southwest flank, and that would be north of Bethel, near Hassel. That would be crossing near Hamilton. New severe thunderstorm warning just coming out.
I saw that too.
And those were those storms down to the south.
Let's go there, Dante. Let's go down to Wayne County, where we do have this new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for this portion. Now moving across Greene County, Lenoir County, southeastern Wayne County, and yes, it will be moving into Pitt County. The Greenville area, once again, in the crosshairs of another severe thunderstorm as this storm is now making its way. We'll put the reflectivity on here now to show you that this is a severe thunderstorm. Large hail likely with it now near LaGrange over towards Seven Springs. This storm is moving to the northeast until 6:45. A severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for western Lenoir, Greene County, as well as into Pitt County. This storm until 6:45 with this severe thunderstorm. Here is likely some hail across the western sections of Lenoir County, eastern Wayne County, Highway 70, as you'll note right in through here, moving off toward the northeast. So severe weather still popping up, and just to show you how really turbulent our skies still are, again, LaGrange, it is over you as we speak. The Jason community, we look toward Institute between now and 6:30. Wheat Swamp across portions of Lenoir County up Highway 258 right around 6:30. Arba. The storm will be moving through your area around 6:32. The Browntown area around 6:34. As we look on into Greene County, Snow Hill storm moving through your this portion of Greene County. Also the Maury area, but around 6 to 6:40. A severe thunderstorm now moving through eastern Wayne, western portions of Lenoir County. This thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect until 7 p.m. For this portion of the 9 on your side viewing area. Hail likely with these storms near LaGrange. This is where the dark shading of the thunderstorm is now in western Lenoir County. We have seen very, very impressive, compelling pictures of how large and how massive the spread of hail is on eastern North Carolina's real estate this afternoon. With these previous storms, there is very high confidence that that is happening again in western Lenoir County, eastern Wayne County, Seven Springs up to LaGrange. This storm moving off to the northeast at about 35 to 40 miles per hour will be affecting LaGrange, Snow Hill, Maury. It's moving your area, and as folks are out and about, this would also include more rain coming. Heads up, Dogwood Festival, for those that are perhaps monitoring us on either radio or television. Another storm is moving toward the Farmville area in terms of more need to make sure all of the citizens, all the folks moving into the Dogwood Festival right now. We do have, again, this live look where this live feed now coming from Farmville right now. The clouds are thickening back up out our back door. If we could take a look at that, the sky just very volatile right now in terms of how really turbulent it is. Our sky conditions still showing the very unstable nature of the skies this afternoon. So this southwestern portions of Pitt County into the Greenville area again, this will be another possible another severe thunderstorm moving on through, and the tornado watch still in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. So we're not totally out of the woods by any means in terms of more rotating thunderstorms now as this line of severe storms, the second round, moves on by.
And I agree with you on that. I'm looking at some kind of nowcasting. Now, granted, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, but these storms are moving into a very highly sheared atmosphere.
Very unstable.
Very unstable atmosphere, because relatively Lenoir County has not been tapped today because you haven't seen a storm. So right now, when we were talking about CAPE, the convective available potential energy, and you kind of look at that to see how much energy the atmosphere is kind of holding, anything during the summer, usually a summer month type of year, type of time of the year, where we have those pulse type thunderstorms, just kind of up and down 30 minutes, you get a shower and thunderstorm, kind of moves along. We usually have CAPE values of around 3,000 joules per kilogram. That's the measuring of that algorithm. But when you look at it right now, this general area has 3,000 joules per kilogram. It's April, and we're talking about an area that's been overworked by storms, and it's been in clouds the last couple of hours. But still a very unstable and very just not a good environment right now for these storms to move into. Good for the storms, bad for us. So we just have to watch this very closely, and that's what we were talking about a few minutes ago. There's still a lot of shear here, and if you are still trying to make plans to go out this evening, I strongly advise against it for another couple of hours until this thing can calm down. When the tornado watch is dropped, that's when I'd say you do what you need to do. But right now stay very aware of what's going on. Right now, the main tornado risk, let's zoom out to the wide view. The main tornado risk right now is going to be up in northeast North Carolina, north of Highway 64. So we'll call it the Tidewater area this afternoon. For right now, we may be getting another round developing down here towards the south, so we are not completely out of the woods just yet. Here is the line of thunderstorms that's pushing through here. We still have a tornado warning up here into northeastern Hertford County, but to be honest with you, it looks like the rotation's about to move into Virginia. I know I've been saying that for the last 15 minutes or so, but it's literally on the border. But you are about to get pelted with heavy winds, about to move into your area in excess of 60, possibly 70, 75 miles per hour through Wahoskie back up towards Winton here in the next couple of minutes. This very strong line of storms that's stretching from Allander back up towards the north. So be in a safe place. No tornado warning for places like Ahoskie, though there is one up in northern portions of Hertford County. You need to just go ahead and trust me on this. Go ahead and move to that safe place, because straight line winds can do just as much damage as a tornado. Again, let's go to the Bertie, Martin County storms. These are kind of out here in the middle of nowhere as far as not necessarily population centers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they're out ahead of a line of storms. And when you get these storms out ahead of the main line, that's where we're going to have to watch here very closely. Go ahead, David.
Okay, and what we're going to do right now for all of our viewers, we again want to make sure that everyone is aware that we do have a very, very volatile situation that continues for the next while. So with that being the case, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Let's catch everybody up, and what we're going to do is take a moment to get the news of the day caught up, but please do not go anywhere, because Storm Team 9 is going to continue to update you every segment between now, and we're probably going to continue as these storms are starting to re-intensify now. So just a program note to everyone that we're likely going to be tracking these storms right on into the 6:30 time frame, because it is once again a very, very volatile situation. Now, severe thunderstorm warning for this portion of western Lenoir County, southern Greene County, moving across the Maury area, Snow Hill into the Greenville area between now and 7:15. Let's move toward the northwest. This line of thunderstorms now moving into Nash and Edgecombe, Wilson counties. Likely hail, large hail, damaging winds associated with this. So Rocky Mount to Wilson, once again, this line of thunderstorms, make sure you're in the lowest portion of your home safe area. These are severe thunderstorms. Right now, we do not have confirmed rotation, but we're tracking it carefully. And let's move also into Bertie County from northern Martin across the Roanoke River into Bertie County, anywhere from the Williamston area over toward Windsor. These storms are moving off toward Mary Hill and Edenton within the next 30 minutes. And as Patrick has pointed out, from Ahoskie into western portions of Gates County, the tornadic thunderstorm now is moving into southern Virginia. We're going to pause for just a moment and come back with headlines of the day, and we will keep you updated the entire newscast with this dangerous stormy situation in eastern North Carolina. We'll be right back.